Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys can join us once again. For those tuning in on the simulcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, we're glad you all can be with us. Going to bring in our friends over on Instagram so they can be a part of our conversation. And last but certainly not least, going to bring in our friends over on the Amazon Live platform so I can reintroduce to some and to introduce to others our next guest. She's making her next appearance with us on Amazon Live to talk about the release of her brand new magazine and also what else is to come. And we're now live on the Amazon Live platform with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the books and the magazine by our next guest. Excited to welcome back Chanelle Coleman Wesley to our broadcast. You guys know her. I got to know her initially from this book you guys see here. She said yes to herself unapologetically. I'm going to highlight it for you guys in the carousel, but she also has added the title of editor-in-chief to her name as well this year, and she's now celebrating the second release of her magazine, Hustle Her Magazine. We'll talk to her about that and what this has been like for her. Also, she has an upcoming event we're going to talk about as well. Chanelle, welcome back to the broadcast.
Hi, Cyrus. I'm so excited to be on the platform. Thanks so much for having me.
Look, the pleasure's definitely all mine. Hello to you over on the Instagram platform. Glad you could be able with us as well. Also, just tuning on YouTube as well. Appreciate you all being with us. So, Chanelle, a very busy quarter for you already. As I mentioned, you've not only, of course, gotten to be known as an Amazon best-selling author, you also have a best-selling magazine here on Amazon too, Hustle Her Magazine. You're now celebrating the second issue that's out. I'm going to highlight it for our audience on Amazon. They all can get the Kindle edition now for $2.99. What has it been like for you now to embrace this title of editor-in-chief and see the response to the magazine, Chanelle?
First of all, Cyrus, I'm going to say it's so incredibly rewarding to be in a space that is truly innovative, that's on the edge. And everyone loves something when it's new. But this has been something I've been definitely waiting for and plotting out for quite some time. So just to see it come to fruition has been something that's just been nothing short of remarkable for me.
Yeah. You know, I have your book here. She said yes to herself unapologetically here because I think it's a great summation, Chanelle, of how you got here, right?
Yes.
Because it's so easy for us to put ourselves, men and women, to put ourselves on the back burner, to put other people first, and to not pay attention to the gifts that we have and showcase those. How have you benefited the most by saying yes to Chanelle Coleman Wesley?
Cyrus, I want to say it's been a wake up call for myself because just, I think intrinsically women, we're just nurturers by nature and environment, what we see being produced. And that's something that we just kind of pick up, and we're kind of trained and it's instilled in us. And that takes a moment where we have that wake up call, something that snaps in life and makes you look back in the mirror and ask yourself as you're pouring into everybody else, how are you pouring into and serving yourself? So it's something that's helped me be more accountable to myself and know that I owe it to my family and my tribe and people who I support to make sure that I'm covered so that I can cover them in a sufficient manner as well.
Yeah. And the thing is finding your tribe, right? You've done it
Mhm.
now with Hustle Her Magazine. I love the support you're getting there. What has it been like for you, Chanelle? Because you have been a cheerleader for so many people. What has it been like for you to see other people rallying now for you?
Cyrus, it's very humbling. I'm always excited to be able to collaborate. To me, collaboration is key.
Mm,
I think when people feel like if you help someone or if showcase someone that somehow it will take from you or diminish from you, but I just don't believe things operate that way. I believe that the ability things when I showcase or support someone else, that my ability to engage and my ability to be also showcase what I do expands and it enlarges, and I just believe that God blesses me as I choose to bless others.
yeah, such a great thing. And I think it's such a great position to be in. We're going to talk more about hustle here in a minute, but I want to talk about what it's been like for you to use the different forms that are at your disposal, Chanelle. You are an Amazon best-selling author. You also are a motivational speaker. You're also an entrepreneur who's involved in being able to create promotional materials, marketing. Talk to us about tapping into your gifts. When did you first start feeling comfortable in sharing your gifts? I'm sure you recognize them, but when did you feel comfortable sharing them with other people?
I think it just happened by me doing the things that I would normally do. The first time that I started creating videos was because I was looking at things and I'm thinking, I always think things are going to be higher than what they are. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to afford all this stuff about this budget.
Right.
Let me do it myself. And
Right.
so when I did it myself, I showed the video, but I also tagged in the person who was the visionary, and I showed the video, and someone was just like, "Oh, well, you mind putting me in the video?" And the person said, "Do you mind putting me in the video?" I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah. Well, if you guys want to be included in the video, go ahead and drop your pics in, and I'll go ahead and do it." And so it was just something. And then as we started developing, and I branched off and started doing Black women authors, promoting them was just something that came natural. I understood what authors need for marketing things, to be able to get them out there and to get their books out there, to feel support, to feel that camaraderie. And I just started creating those things, just out of capacity. And truly, I got that from my mom. My mom was one of those people who was she believed in community. If she was packing a lunch, it wasn't just for us. It was for everybody. Whoever could get some, she would make enough, because I'd be like, why is she bringing all this food? She's always bringing all this stuff. But she just had so much space in her heart, and she was always giving. And even the things that you think parents aren't instilling in you, it trickles down. And so I'm glad that that's one of the things that I've been able to carry on from my mom and from her legacy.
Yeah, I love that. I want to say hello to all of you over there on IG. Appreciate you guys being with us. Gonna type in a quick message for you guys over there. If you guys have any questions or comments for Chanelle, make sure you guys put those in the chat there. I have the chat open on all the platforms. So on Facebook, definitely appreciate you guys over there too. LinkedIn, we have the chat open for you guys. Also, of course, on Amazon, you guys can put those chat in there too. Chanelle, I want to talk about, being an example to others, because your life has not been without challenges. Your life has not been without difficulties, and yet you continue to show up, and yet you continue to pour into others. Where does that resilience come from?
Again, I have to give it back to my mom. I just watched my mom go through some earth-shattering experiences, and she was a woman who just really held on to her faith in God. That was something that was just really central. My mom was very family-oriented and family-focused and friend and community, and something that she just taught me is that, you have to get up and you have to keep going. Even when you feel like you can't go on, you still have to get up and keep going. She had motivators there when my father died. When I was 13 at the time. My younger brother was 11. We were two kids that were still at home. She became a single mom overnight. The following year, her father died, and the year after that, her brother died. And so there was just a lot of death and a lot of things that were happening. And my mom, no matter what was going on, she just continued to run. And when you would think that a person should shrink, she started going back to school, because she had put school on hold to be a mom and a career woman, because my father was very ill from the onset. And she just was doing all the things that she had to do, checking off all the boxes. And I just saw her strength. And you model what you see. You see a strong person go, and you just imitate what you see. And so I'm just thankful that I had a community of strong women, my grandmother, my aunts, all those things, community, church family, just made those qualities instilled in myself. So I'm just thankful that I was able to pick some of those things up.
Mm. And now so many people are able to benefit from them. Chanelle, I want to say, for those that are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. Cindy over there on IG, hello to you. Prairie Dodgers, good to see you. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents on Amazon, but we are simulcasting this for Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. Chanelle Coleman Wesley is back with us today. She's the award-winning author of this book you guys see here. She said yes to herself unapologetically. You can also get her other book there. I'm going to highlight for you guys, Naked and Not Ashamed. Also, she has a Kindle edition of her book. Going to go ahead and highlight it for you guys. I'm going to get it back in the carousel. There it is. The Empower Her blueprint there too. But the latest thing, though, that we're talking about today is Hustle Her magazine. So, Chanelle, for those who don't know the backstory, how did Hustle Her magazine even come about?
So Cyrus, initially it was supposed to be Black women authors, because I was in the group doing Black women authors. That was initially the magazine that I wanted to do. I was very interested in doing something that had representation, because growing up, I didn't have a lot of that coming up, and I wanted to be able to make sure that it has representation. But we're also inclusive, so let me just say that there. We are very pro everybody, but we just are about having a space that's unapologetically celebrating women of color, women of faith, who are doing their thing in business, in health and wellness, in brands and all of the things, just shining some light on them, because sometimes we don't always have access to platforms that see us, that represent us, that have our same and similar values, that are rooting for us on the sidelines. And so Hustle Her magazine is just about that. It's about helping Black women of faith step into their awareness, to be bold, to be beautiful, to be unapologetic, and to be able to go ahead and to create their own tables and to sit down and to do the things that they want to do. And so it's all about that. And I'm excited to be able to highlight and experience businesses and brands and those who also celebrate and value Black women in business.
And in doing that, for one thing, as you mentioned, you're kind of carving out your own lane, Chanelle, but you also are showing other people what's possible. I'm going to, for those who are not joining us on the Amazon side, I'm going to share my screen so they can be able to see the latest cover. Again, the Kindle edition is live now for $2.99. You all can see it there. I'm going to highlight it for you guys over on the Amazon side. So for you, Chanelle, to be able to see this magazine come to life, to see the contributors supporting it, how does it feel to be able to know that you're able to provide something that's valuable but also inspiring as well?
Cyrus, I am a creative by nature, so it's like having a baby. You go through all the things, you're planning all the stages, and when you show off your baby, you want people to say, "Oh, she's so cute," and that's how I feel. But I also like to. I'm a person who believes in collaboration, so I'm always looking. Well, how can I help someone else? How can we meet? How can we do some things together? And so I love being able to spotlight businesses that are doing their thing. We're adding some new things to the magazine that I'm really excited about. Business spotlights. We're going to be having some contests for that, because I feel like some things you should just get for free and for pub. Like, hey, okay, if you guys are participating, you're a Black-owned business and you're wanting some free pub, you're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do this, share some things about the magazine, and go in for a drawing for opportunity to highlight your business in this space. And I'm excited about some other things that we have coming on the table as well. So my mind is always constantly at work. It's always twisting and turning, kind of like yours, Cyrus, always coming up with something to do. Sometimes I have to tell my brain to be quiet. Be quiet, Chanelle. Stop.
Yeah. I do that too. I'm literally talking to myself every day.
I know.
I totally can understand that. Real Lady Extreme, hello to you over there on IG as well. So I want to talk about that. Brings up an interesting point, Chanelle, because for our audience that is watching you, they may wonder, how does she do it? She has a family, she has books, she's a speaker, she's an entrepreneur. What has helped you to kind of find that rhythm? I don't want to call it balance, because I really don't think balance is a fair word. But what's helped you to find your own rhythm, Chanelle, in kind of keeping it all together?
I think community is important.
Okay.
My why is always central to what I do, which is my kids, which is my love for God and my love for building community. I have people who are in my network. Like, I have a group with my sister Selena and a good friend of mine, Nicole Thurman. We meet and we pray in the morning, and we set our day and we set our goals out, and we're planning. I'm very much into vision boards and making sure I'm doing the things, but I'm also being more intentional now about making sure I dial back and I have those moments where I just do something that Chanelle wants to do, even if it's just to scroll for a while, just to kind of clear everything out. I'm such a lover of baths. Like, I soak with candles, all the things. Like, I have to, that's my way to like tap in. Like, when I'm having a day, I may be in there for 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
That's just how, it's really serious.
Wow.
But those are the things that I do to kind of unplug and to reset, because I found that that's just as essential as all of the other things that I do. But just being focused, setting those things for having those goals, and then seeing myself being able to check off those things encourages me to go ahead and go do that next thing.
Love that. And that's really I was messing with you just then, Chanelle, because that's something, because I know, you and I've had our conversations about the going. But I love the fact that you're being more intentional about that. And I think it's something for all of our audience. This whole thing about hustling 24 hours a day is not realistic, and it's not healthy. And I think, for any of us, myself included. So I think to be able to have that time, whatever that looks like. Also, like Chanelle, something else that you said, I think it's really important. You found what works for you. For
Mm-hmm.
you, it's fast. Is that time for everyone? That's going to be different, right? And I think so. Our audience shouldn't feel like they have to do a certain
Right.
thing in order to, unplug or whatever. It's whatever feels right for you. But you do continue to find ways to support others. You were just telling me before we went live here, Chanelle. There's an event that's coming up. Talk to us about that and your role in that.
I'm so excited. So the event is called Survivors Fest. It's for 2025 this year with Deborah Gillespie. She's with Mothers Against Gun Violence and so
Mm,
many other dynamic non-for-profits and businesses that are right here in the Milwaukee area, having a day to celebrate survivors, whether you survived homelessness, illness, death or loss, trauma, abuse, pain, hardship, economics, whatever it may be. Just having a date where there's inspiration, where there's hope, where there's resources, ways to connect and engage. It's happening this Sunday, August 24th, 2025 at Washington Park Band Shell area, right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from 1
mhm.
to 3:30 p.m. I'm excited. I'll have an opportunity to speak, and I'll also have a table there. So I'm excited about being able to engage with the community and to support those who are surviving, because let's face it, I don't care who you are, what road you're traveling in life, you've gone through something. And
Yeah.
despite what you've gone through, you're still here, you're still standing, and that deserves to be celebrated. Sometimes we can focus in on the losses and what we've lost and the things that have been taken from us, but sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit and God enough credit to say,
Hmm.
thank you, I've made it through the end of this. I came through that. This, I may have met this challenge or that challenge, but I'm still standing and I'm still here. So I'm excited to be with this because also it's a free community event. And who doesn't love free? I know I do. I love free
Yeah.
99. That's a free event. They're going to have some free food and some other resources, but it's going to be a great opportunity for people to engage and just have a good time.
Love that. And I love the fact that you're able to simultaneously build your own brand, but also support other people too. Again, that's a great reminder, not looking at everything like a competition.
Exactly.
Remember there are opportunities that we can be able to support other people. And I think that's a great example. Chanelle, you are one of these people who is always thinking so big. Um, Talk to us about feeling satisfied with yourself. Or have you gotten to a place where you can celebrate you and feel good about other things you want to do? But have you gotten to a place where you can give yourself credit for what you've done at this point?
You know what? I had a good talk with a good friend of mine, actually, this last couple of days.
Hmm.
And I do. I have high hopes. I want to hit, I'm always going for the ceiling. And when I don't hit the ceiling, sometimes I can be hard on myself. I'm like, I
Hmm.
didn't hit what I wanted to hit. I didn't have that objective, and so I can feel like nothing else matters because I
Hmm.
didn't hit this thing.
Yeah.
And I had a friend is like, look, all the things you were able to accomplish, you did this. Okay, you didn't do that, but then you can have an opportunity to sit back and to kind of pivot, look at that thing again, and try it out again. And when he said it, and it wasn't that I didn't have my sister Selena and my friend Nicole saying something similar, but
Hmm.
that last time that he said it, I needed to hear that, and so it finally clicked. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, Chanelle, and I say this to everybody: celebrate your wins.
Yes.
Celebrate every win, whether
Yeah.
big or small. And that's something, ironically, that I say, and she said yes to herself. But sometimes you
Hmm.
forget it. And all the
Hmm.
things that you're doing in life, you tend to forget it. So I needed that reminder, and so now I'm learning to just take a step back, to breathe in, to give myself some grace, to know that I'm doing all that I can do, and that I can, I give over to God, and just be excited for where I am right now in this moment, and actually enjoy and embrace it, and take it for all it's worth.
It's an important thing. And I know we're going to be having some of the contributors to Hustler
Yes.
Magazine is going to be joining us here on Amazon Live. So we definitely want you guys to go ahead and get the Kindle edition. It's out now. I'm going to highlight again the carousel for you guys of the new issue of Hustle Her Magazine. Make sure you guys go ahead and get that. Stay tuned to us here on Amazon. So make sure you guys hit that follow button so you know when we're going to have Chanelle back. So she's going to be bringing with her some of the contributors for Hustle Her Magazine as well, some of the features as well. Chanelle, let them know how can they stay connected with you and keep up with everything that's coming up for you.
Well, first of all, Cyrus, thank you again so much. It's always a great time on this show with you. So thank you for having me on.
Sure.
Again, people can stay connected with me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, X, although I'm not there much, LinkedIn, and TikTok. You can find me, Chanelle Coleman Wesley, on across all social medias. I would love to be able to connect. If you're a Black woman in business or you want to support a business and you're like, hey, I would love to do some things with Hustle Our Magazine, then hey, hit me up. Why? Because I love to collaborate.
There we go. All right. So make sure you guys are staying connected. Chanelle, congratulations to you again. I'll be seeing you again real soon.
Thanks again, Cyrus.
More than welcome. And I thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you'll make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.